Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction to read through for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, chapters 153, 154, 155, and 156. I've kind of just been going from where the comments tell me to stop for the past few weeks, and last week the comments said that 156 was a good place to stop. So that's where we'll go through. Last time was very, very good. We kind of told a full little story arc there where the main characters come back from the tiny planet, from Peaceland, and now we're back in Seoul, and in the Seoul Dome, more people are being sent in, things have gone crazy, and I think it's cool. I think it's a good way to set up a conflict by having it happen while they were away, and then they come back to it. It adds some drama with Hyeonseong, who we have to now go see because she's in trouble, and Sang-ah, who have been dealing with this on their own with the rest of the group out of here. I mean, not completely on their own. The other kings are here. Dokja's mom is here. But, still, they were kind of on the lower end of the numbers. And all the characters have been split up again, which is, again, more of a chance for these characters to go and do cool things. We still have some stuff going on with Soo-young where we didn't figure out what she went to do, I think, and it'll be interesting to see what these other characters do if we even get to see it. But once again, we have Dokja and Junghyuk stuff, which is very good. And we told this whole story of bringing in Nirvana Mobius, and I think Nirvana Mobius was great. They're a really interesting character. They have like a really good character concept. Just the idea behind the character is very good. We had a full little story there to set them up. And what I really, really love about it that I talked about last time is not only did we set this character up, we have all this set up for an exciting character, but with the way it ended and with the way that Nirvana Mobius got out of there, I think that it makes it cool because this character is going to come back at some point, and when they come back, they're going to be even more exciting and even better off as an antagonistic character if they stay as an antagonistic character, because now Dokja doesn't have the element of surprise anymore. Now Nirvana Mobius knows that Dokja exists and knows more about Dokja. So all of that was good. Now that he's lost the King of No Killing, and now that things are going crazy with the kings, is Dokja just gonna be the ugliest king now? That's what they were calling him, and it's really pretty unfair, because honestly, no disrespect to, what is it, like Jonil-do or whatever, or the Maitreya King, but come on, Dokja's not that ugly, right? Right? I know that Korea has notoriously strict beauty standards, but there's no way Dokja's ugly, right? Or at least that ugly. There's no way he's the ugliest king. But I think that's about it as far as recapping what happens off the top of my head goes. We did end with us needing to now go see what's going on with Uriel and Hwee-won. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I will say that I'm a little bit tired, been working outside all day, and I was thinking about pushing this back to Wednesday, but it's kind of late. I'm recording this at 11 p.m., but I was just like, I can't sit here for the rest of the night and not read. I just really couldn't wait another day to read. So yeah, let's just get into it. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting, but maybe there was. So either way, starting with 153. We're seeing, oh yeah, I wonder how this is going to continue to affect me and Ji-won. Oh, I almost forgot her name again. Ji-won, do you know where Hwee-won is by any chance? She looks pretty dejected. It's no use asking her, he thinks. Junghyuk, protect me. What? Oh, he's gonna talk to Persephone, maybe? If so, that's crazy that we're gonna get to see this here. Or wait, no, probably not, because he went to talk to her before and she wasn't there. So maybe not. He's doing something else. I'll focus my consciousness and sink slowly into sleep. I guess I've gotten pretty used to doing this now. I need to look for the voice. The voice that's calling out for me. I told them to think of me if something went amiss. Are they in trouble? Dokja? Dokja. And he hears it. I found it. Third-person observer's viewpoint. Have we You know, again, I have only read through the series once. So my knowledge is coming from one single read through. Have we seen this established? I'm sure if we're doing this like this, that it has in some way been established already, but I don't fully remember this. Gosh. Or maybe like it's like on the tip of my brain. I'm sure we have seen it before. I just don't remember the exact details. Third-person observer's viewpoint. And we have a bunch of burning buildings. You would be cooked in there. Then again, I guess they have like defense stats, which makes them more resilient than a normal person. So there's that. But the cars are destroyed. There's charred corpses everywhere. There's no doubt about it. It's Hyeonseong's Hell Flames ignition. I'm relieved she must still be alive, but this isn't Hyeonseong's perspective I'm seeing through. And he's got the grippers out. We see Hyeon there. Oh, she's been affected by Mobius's abilities. I don't know if I should call him Nirvana or call him Mobius. Or them, sorry. Then I guess even Junghyuk fell under their power. Damn it, Nirvana must have gotten to her already. Okay, so Nirvana is probably the way to say it. Then who was it that called me? Hyeon? It seems like she's snapping out of it. Maybe, hopefully, because Hyeonseong is right there. So Hyeonseong found Hyeon first. And I love when we do the title splash over a panel. It's so cool. It just makes it feel special. I guess maybe if we did it every single chapter it would feel less special, but we have this confrontation. Episode 153, Chapter 27, Unreadable, Part 1. We have more buildings burning in that shot. A clash. What on earth? I can't even tell, like, from the perspective, is this stuff, like, it looks like it's, like, built up out of the ground. Or it's, like, the inside of a building that's been cut through? It's hard to tell. Because of how we have, like, the building here, but then inside we have this stuff. So I guess it is the inside of a building, and those are the, like, support pillars they've been cut through. Hyeon? Hyeonseong? Looking around, I don't think they're in a location where I could help them. If I don't do anything, Hyeonseong will be killed by Hyeon, who's under the control of thought infection. I keep wanting to say thought injection. Damn it, what should I do now? Maybe have faith in her that she can break through? And we have a thwack? Is Junghyuk knocking him out of it? He gets punched. Ugh, what are you doing, falling asleep like that? He starts coughing. I love this comedic panel. That face is really good. Did he just punch me to wake me up? Wait, he hit me. That's right. I really don't want to, but if I were to save the two... Hey, can you hit me again? And do it really hard. What? No, wait. Just kill me right now. This is complex, though. If he dies, he can jump into the... Well, no, I was gonna say he could jump into the main character's perspective, but that would just put him in Junghyuk's body. He can't jump into Hyeon or Hyeonseong's body, right? Right? I can't remember. Did he do something similar to that during the Yuseong situation where he jumped into somebody other than Junghyuk's body? I don't remember. Maybe he did do something like that. But again, he can't revive himself now, right? Then there are a few sayings that end up sticking with you. There was such a saying for Hyeonseong as well. And we're actually getting Hyeonseong backstory? For example, something that he heard his professor say during his freshman year in college. Everyone, you have to become creative. Think outside the box. You need to become someone who can get up this moment and barge out of this auditorium. Go look for something you really want to do. So, how am I supposed to do that, he thinks. From the looks of it, you're born to be a soldier. Why don't you apply to become an officer? I wonder how his life would have turned out if he hadn't heard the executive officer say that to him. For someone who found fitting into society and mingling with others difficult, the army was like a second home to him, and when Hyeonseong returned to the army, accepted as an officer, this is what the executive officer said to him. Lieutenant Lee, just go by the book if you don't know what to do. Then no one will hold you accountable. But what am I supposed to do at a time like this? I don't have a book to guide me in this situation. I had a much easier time running around and chanting cadences. Do I need to fight her? Would I be able to stop her? And again, I love when we get perspectives other than Dokja's on these rare occasions. We still have people burning as she walks through the streets. Won, please snap out of it. What am I supposed to do at a time like this? Dokja, Constellation Master of Steel is silently watching you. Please give me an answer, Dokja. Hyeonseong? And he hears it. That voice. Am I hearing things? Can you hear me? Dokja? First, why don't we think about that while running away? And she rushes forward as he turns to run. We have two options right now. One is to kill Won. And then we have the crash from her attack as they hide behind a corner. That sounds familiar. Is the second option to keep running like this? That's right. Then I'll go with the third option as always. Hyeonseong, there is no third option this time. That's a really good panel. I also love that we're finally getting some Hyeonseong stuff. He feels like one of the most neglected of the main cast of characters, despite being here from like the very beginning. And that's where we end. Very good chapter. Again, I talked about my thoughts as we went through it for the most part. I don't think there's anything more to say at the end that I didn't say while reading. Again, I love that this is Hyeonseong development because, like I just said, Hyeonseong really feels to me like the most neglected member. We haven't seen a bit of Gil Young in a while, like doing serious character stuff, but we've gotten serious character stuff in the past. Hyeonseong definitely felt like the most left out whenever we started getting different characters, you know, getting some actual character work done. He always felt like he was either away from the group at the time when that was happening, or where we were getting deeper into other characters and their past and their feelings. We weren't with him. So again, I really, really like this. Won's a great character, so it's always great to see some sort of, like, the story using her in some way. And then Junghyuk and Dokja are really fun together. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly Dokja's plan is for coming back to life if he did get killed by Junghyuk. So we'll see. And I think he did do something like this before when he was killed during the Yusung stuff, like the fight against the other round Yusung. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's go read the next one. Episode 154 starts with the same interaction exchange that we just saw. He looks back, and then we get our title splash right at the beginning this time. Chapter 27, Unreadable, Part 2. See more of the destruction. Of course, there is a third way. And in some manhwa, when we get panels like this, and like some of the ones we got last time, I feel like, you know, it's a little superfluous if it's especially by a single, you know, author or a small, like a single author and maybe a small team of assistants. I'll say, you know, it's not worth it because, you know, you're expending the extra effort to make the panel, but it's also not giving us any new visual information. Like, we already know the city's burning and all of that. This isn't giving us any new information, but having stuff like this to just kind of keep the tone going, set the pace, is really good, I think, for a series like Omniscient Reader, where it's done by a, you know, studio adapting a novel. I think that stuff like this works so much better, and that's really one of the strengths of Omniscient Reader being an adaptation. And then, of course, there is a third way. However, it requires some time. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 2 is currently active. First-person supporting actor POV is currently unstable. Okay, so he's using supporting actor POV instead of main character POV. I can't believe the person who's using Hellflame's ignition is Hyeonseong. This is looking really bad. Not that it would be any different if it were someone else. Even if Hyeonseong doesn't kill Hyeonseong now, Hyeonseong's mana will end up overflowing and killing her. That is exactly what Nirvana has planned. Why do you always have to be like that? He yells. You want me to kill Hyeonseong? That's the kind of advice you have for me? Judge of Evil Hyeonseong is strong. I didn't realize just how strong she was when she was an ally, but I can see for sure now that she's standing on the other side. Even if she doesn't use Time of Judgment, she has Demon Slaying. On top of that, she's capable of using Uriel's Hellflame Ignition ruthlessly. In fact, she's the most powerful one of the allies I've gathered. And then we see more of the flame attack coming down the street, and they have to run away from the corner where they were hiding. But then Hyeonseong stops and turns back, it looks like. Wait, Hyeonseong! I refuse to accept such a solution. He tries to block it. Really good panel again. Again, just assume that I'm always thinking it. Snap out of it, Hyeonseong. Oh, Hyeonseong. Hyeonseong, if you run, at least one of you will be able to live. No. No one will hold you accountable, even if you run away now. Sorry, my voice tonight. I don't want to. I thought you considered me as the standard you should strive for. If so, then do as I say. And his hands are melting. Literally melting. That's not the kind of book I want to go by. I can't just give up that easily, no matter how bad the result may be, even if it means I'll die here and now. He's burning even more. I see. Well done. And his hands are melted off. That is the third option. Third option wasn't something I could just order him to do. It was something that Hyeonseong had to decide for himself. It's a way of doing things that you figured out without going by the book. I wasn't sure myself that this would work, and he is toasty right now. But I still chose to go through with it, because I sensed a faint bit of pity for Hyeonseong. Man, this is so good. That Hyeonseong had in his heart. Thank you for everything, Mr. Dokja. There's no need to thank me, because we're only just getting started. Master of Steel, the most indomitable being of the Star Stream, Constellation Master of Steel is heeding your call. Isn't it about time you answered me? I gave your incarnation a chance. Constellation Master of Steel remains silent. I know, you fear taking on the aftermath of probability, but how much longer are you going to walk on eggshells around the other nebulae? Are you just going to keep watching until the scenario reaches an apocalypse? Constellation Master of Steel acknowledges Lee Hyeonseong's courage. Constellation Master of Steel says that it's not yet time. Constellation Master of Steel believes that Lee Hyeonseong won't be able to handle his story. I'll bear it with him. Constellation Master of Steel is looking at you. Constellation Master of Steel nods their head. Character Lee Hyeonseong is preparing to evolve his attribute. A story is required for an attribute evolution. Constellation Master of Steel is granted putting his story to the test. Story Proof of Steel has begun. And we have these steel scales forming. Character Lee Hyeonseong has activated the skill Steel Transformation. Very, very cool way of showing that. Why is Hyeonseong called the Steel Blade? I've never seen him use any blades. Despite that, Hyeonseong's nickname was the Steel Blade. And then, Hyeonseong doesn't need a blade. I suppose this is the other rounds versions of Junghyuk and Yusung. So Yusung grew up. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess this this situation, this apocalypse goes on for so long before he regresses that she gets to be that old. Hyeonseong doesn't need a blade, because he himself is the sword. Man, that's so good. Steel transformation. Only its first level, armor, was activated, but that in and of itself was powerful enough. And then he's walking through the flames. I'm alive. This is the real stigma that you must master. The chosen stigma can only be used by someone who has established a story. The problem is that the stigma's first level hasn't kicked in fully yet. Steel transformation is not yet complete. Every supporting constellation provides its incarnation with a stigma. While some are simply bestowed upon them as gifts, others have difficult conditions that must be met before they can be used. The first proof of steel now begins. Steel transformation is one of those stigmas with a difficult condition. Proof of steel. True steel is born only after tens of thousands of quenches. What does that mean? Quenching is the process of cooling metal after heating it to high temperatures. Don't tell me. Yes, that's right. You better keep your head straight. And then, Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is showing interest in this story. Constellation Defense Master wonders how powerful they are in comparison. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is clasping their hands anxiously. Just a little more. And it's kind of interesting that Demonic Judge of Fire, Uriel, can't do anything about Hyeonseong using her abilities. The temperatures exceeded standard values. Bingo. The quenching has begun. Proof of steel. True steel. Okay, so that's our recap. We're getting that. Very cool. So I wonder then, I was told that 156 was a good place to stop, so I wonder if the next two chapters are going to be finishing off the story of saving Hyeonseong and having Hyeonseong have his evolution here. And it's so good. It's so good getting Hyeonseong development, and of course, like, he's really cool as a character here. Of course, it's just being used to give him a power-up, really, but again, it's good to give your side characters power-ups, so it's kind of two birds, one stone. We get a good story, and we get a power-up. It just works. So either way, let's go on to the next chapter. Okay, now we have the temperatures exceeded standard values. We're continuing with this, trying to speak clearly, but my throat feels all stopped up and dry. The quenching has started. And then, Chapter 27, Unreadable, Part 3. Quenching is the foundation to making great steel. In this story, he needs to withstand an excess amount of heat until his body becomes as hard as steel. We're just lucky that Hyeonseong isn't evil. Hold it. You can do it. And we still see him dealing with this. I can't forgive them. They both react. They must die. Humans like me must all die. And she's tearing up as she's out of control. Character Jung Hyeon is under the influence of thought infection. Character Jung Hyeon has lost the power to reason. Character Jung Hyeon's trauma is out in the open. That son of a... They really did a number on her mind. They rattled up all of her past traumas, starting with what happened at Gumho Station. Is this what Hyeon is thinking right now? Can you hear her? Says Dokja. Well, a little. Is this one of your powers, Mr. Dokja? Yes, a skill of mine. I didn't realize Hyeonseong could also hear the messages that I get through Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Could it be because I'm in first-person mode? I'm sorry for having kept it a secret from you. I'm a little embarrassed. Did you read my thoughts as well? Which is a very fair, very good question to ask. Looks like we need to try to overpower her first. But wouldn't that end up hurting her? Probably, but only mentally. Just as expected of Hyeonseong. We have the shorter end of the stick and he's worried about her. The best way to go about this would be to either kill Nirvana or resolve Hyeon's traumas. But the former isn't possible right now, so the most likely option would be to go with the latter. Mr. Dokja, let's try. We have sparking around him and more of these metal scales. He forms thicker armor. Whoops, sorry about that. Accidental click. Alright. I read that wrong at first. We will save you. I thought it said we'll save you now at first. So he's like, we're gonna save you now. Okay, we've been standing here taking the attacks for a bit. Now we're gonna do it. We won. She's going in for an attack again. We have the melting and chipping of his body. Character Hyeonseong has reached his mental capacity. Constellation Master of Steel is looking at his incarnation with pity. Hyeonseong, let me take control for a little while. And he steps in. Personal skill, fourth wall, is shaking. First person supporting actor POV is in full effect. The heat on my skin. Is this the pain that Hyeonseong had been enduring? We'll all die if we carry on like this. Hyeonseong will end up dying. Are you just gonna let Hyeonseong die like this? She's still attacking. Damn it, it's too hot. 3 more steps. Now 2. And Mr. Dokja, let me do it. I like this. I didn't say anything because I didn't think it was that bad. Or I didn't think it was bad at all, just not ideal. I kind of loved that we were letting Hyeonseong do this of his own accord. Again, it wasn't something that Dokja told him to do. This was his choice that he was making. So to have Dokja take over and be the, main character has to be the hero who saves all the side characters. Omniscient Reader doesn't do that a lot. It actually lets other characters have their time to shine fairly often. So I wasn't super huge into Dokja taking over his body, but I like that, of course, Dokja being willing to do it himself is a good thing, but I like that even if Hyeonseong doesn't take his body back to do it, I like at least the thought of it. The thought that counts, that he wants to do it himself. I do appreciate that. I have to be the one to do it. The will of steel reacts to you. Hyeon? And is he going to grab onto the blade? Excuse me for a second. And he moves it away to the side and embraces her. Constellation, demonic judge of fire, is flustered by the sudden display of camaraderie. I love Uriel. We have the cracking of the flames. And he closes his eyes as the armor's melting away. And it goes around to encase them and form into these crystals. Okay, so this is making... I have thought before that some of the more recent Tower of God stuff has maybe been done by some of the same, some of the assistants maybe, or some of the same people that work on Omniscient Reader, because there's some faces and some certain things that look similar. And there is a thing in Tower of God that I was I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be metal, but it looked like crystals, and I was why would metal be in the shape of crystals or whatever? I was that's kind of weird to depict metal that way, but here we're seeing it in Omniscient Reader, so maybe it's not the same artist, but maybe this is just a way that metal ore or metal would be depicted, and it feels more normal for Korean art. So maybe it's a cultural thing if it's not the same artist. But again, seeing this crystalline form with the metal just made me think of that. Story, the first proof of steel has been completed. And all the flames dissipate. And are we going to end there? Okay, no, we get more. Okay. The steel cracks away. And we see them inside. I can't breathe. Huh? I'm sorry, I'll let you go now. Struggle and squirm. Cute. She falls into his chest. Thank you. It's nothing. But was there someone else here with you? What? Well, never mind. That doesn't matter all that much. But first, hurry and get me out of this thing. There's not much time. Huh? Is something wrong? Dokja, you're listening right now, aren't you? And she yells out to the sky. Sang-ah is in danger right now. Okay, so we had the one in danger, now we've got the other in danger. After everything that happened in Peaceland. Okay, so he wasn't killed by Junghyuk. Your body awakes due to great shock. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 3 has been deactivated. That was really good, so hold on. I'm gonna do one more, I guess. I still have one more to read? Okay, people said that 156 was a good stopping point, so yeah, let's read the next one, I guess. Alright, let's see what happens with 156, but I did want to say last chapter was really, really, really good. I didn't say much at the end of it. But yeah, I love that Hyeonseong gets this moment, gets this development, gets to do all of this. Same with Hwee-won. We didn't really, like, we talked about going through her traumas, but we didn't really get, like, a deep and, like, you know, down into the seriousness of it. But still, having Hwee-won get a moment, having Hwee-won do some more stuff is cool because Hwee-won is awesome. She's great. So all of that, really, really good. The art's been incredible. I have loved every bit of these chapters. I think this has been a really, really good little diversion for the story. And not only, it's not like been a useless diversion. It's not like we're getting nothing out of it. We've gotten a bunch of character development, like a load. Like more character development in a couple chapters than in the 150 some before it when it comes to Hyeonseong. So you get all of that, plus you get a cool story, plus we get a sort of power up for Hyeonseong to continue on into the story. So yeah, just big, big win for those first 3 chapters, and I'm curious to see what the deal is going to be with this one. I guess maybe we're going to start transitioning into whatever's going on with Sang-ah before next week's read through. And as always, let me know where a good stopping place is next time. And then we start with Hwee-won yelling about Sang-ah being in danger. Dokja waking up. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 3 has been deactivated. And then we start once again with the title splash. This is Unreadable Part 4. Huh? Something's not right. Why won't the resurrection message display? Because he wasn't actually killed. You cannot receive the reward for Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 3 since your connection to first-person supporting actor POV is unstable. Then we have Junghyuk. Gosh, he startled me. Dokja, are you dead? Oh, I get it. I was never dead to begin with. I was just hit so hard that I almost died. And we see the mark on his stomach. That bastard. He said he'd kill me, so why didn't he? Gosh, that hurts. Dokja? Should I have just killed him earlier? He thinks. He ruined everything. This round's deviated so much from what I used to know. There's so little information that I can use. I can't save the world like this. Jeez. The reason the leader of the Salvation Church defeated me was that I used Time Layer for too long in the last round. It was a mistake to train there for 100 years. What terrible regressor's depression just for losing one fight. Maybe it's because he's been mentally attacked. I lost because my mentality had been damaged permanently during that time. Or maybe it was because I failed to obtain the Absolute Throne. Maybe it would be best if I started all over again. That hurt like hell, you prick, says Dokja. Trying to snap him out of it, I'm assuming. You asked me to hit you as hard as I could. Did you manage to do what you were trying to do? And now, we get back to what's going on with them. So that's what happened. What will you do now? I haven't thought about it yet, but things are looking up for us. That woman you call Sang-ah must be important to you. So, you should need to find her as soon as possible. Is the leader of the Salvation Church holding her captive? Probably so. Nonetheless, things are looking very hopeful. Why do you keep saying that? Junghyuk, and he grabs onto his collar, his shoulders. We can save the world. You know that, right? I guess, again, he's still trying to keep Junghyuk from going into his depression. Because, I mean, truth be told, if Junghyuk tries to go down the Kermit sewer slide to make it so that he regresses again, says, hey, this round is chalked, give me a new round without Dokja here to mess it up. We don't know what happens to Dokja in that scenario. Like, Dokja could just poof out of existence, he could also get regressed, or he could have to continue on without Junghyuk here, and Junghyuk is a piece that he probably would want to keep around. What the hell are you talking about? He says. So here's what I mean. Maybe I made it too obvious, he thinks. If my guess is correct, Nirvana wouldn't have laid a hand on Sangha if they're the Nirvana that I know of. Wait, do you know about the reincarnators as well? And he reacts, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Well, you see, you two sure seem to be a lot closer now. The King of Beauty, perfect timing. That's not true. How are you doing, anyway? Thanks to you, I'm doing fine, although I almost ended up joining the Salvation Church. King of Beauty, I think I might be in need of your help. Could you find all of my friends who've been scattered before they become brainwashed into joining the Salvation Church? And we see Jihye there, and Hyeonseong and Hyeonseong ended up together. What do you want, you insect? Get off me, you mongrel. And they're all being approached by some of Min Ji-won's people. And private property, do not enter. This really is my land, we have Pildu. Now, I wanted to stay there. You mean Peaceland? Damn it. Fortunately, everyone was nearby. Supreme King, please accept us. We've heard so much about you. And he glares at them. I love Junghyuk. Junghyuk's one of my favorite characters. Just being edgy. I love him. We can't save the world, even if we had truckloads of people like them. I guess regression is the only way. The Supreme King isn't feeling too good, so get lost. Dokja is again trying to wave them off. Now he has to read Junghyuk's mind and try to be his therapist, essentially, and try to keep him from falling too far mentally. Who's that supposed to be? Do you want to die? I think he's called the Ugly King. And then he stops. But it looked like that Ugly King was stronger. The Ugly King? And he's laughing. Don't worry, Dokja. Looks aren't all there is to a man, so Gil-young is not standing up for him. I still think you're handsome, mister. And of course, Hyeonseong has always had this, sort of awkward feelings toward Dokja. Idiot, are you blind? He just waited to finish them off until the Supreme King did everything. That must be it, right? And now we have a huge thud. Everyone reacts. And a massive towering beast this time? A giant monster. It's a tier 6. Come to think of it, there was also a scenario here as well. The 7th scenario, Monster Hunting, was a special scenario, opened for new and old incarnations who didn't get to go to Peaceland. But was there a tier 6 monster in the 7th scenario? I'm sorry, but the 7th scenario is already over. You guys must have come while the rewards were being calculated. It was all over by then. The leader of the Salvation Church received the highest reward. Then where did that thing come from? And there's more of them? Monsters don't go around in packs starting from tier 6. What the hell are they? And then Jihye rushes in. Junghyuk slices through one as well. And Gil-young and Hyeonseong are doing things. Here they come again. Pildu is as well. This way, everyone. Something doesn't feel right. Something like this doesn't happen in the 3rd round of the novel. Not in the 4th, the 5th, or even the 10th round. Constellation Secretive Plotters, eager to see your power of reasoning in action. I seem to be missing something important. Think, Dokja. When did this scenario appear in the novel? And we have it popping up. Your memory is enhanced due to your personal attribute. This is an announcement for all incarnations of the Soul Dome. The monsters must have startled you, didn't they? And is this the one? Because it has yellow text. So is this... I'm forgetting who had yellow text other than the one who was in Peaceland. As you may have expected, the next scenario has now begun. We wanted to give you some rest, but what a pity. Yellow text was also the one... Oh god, I forget their name now. I remembered their name so many times, but now I'm forgetting. Oh no, this is different. However, this scenario isn't run by the Dokkaebi. It's an automated scenario. Okay, different Dokkaebi. New main scenario has arrived. And then main scenario 8, the strongest sacrifice. Category main, difficulty yes. Clear... so many high difficulty ones. Clear condition, survive the onslaught of monsters. Be cautious as the level of monsters increases every 4 hours. Time limit, none. Reward, we don't know. Penalty for failure is death. There are additional clear conditions. Hints for the additional clear conditions will be revealed once every 4 hours. Oh, and Tier 6 is just the beginning. After 4 hours, Tier 5 monsters will come, and Tier 4 monsters will come after another 4 hours. What? You can't run a scenario like that. Hey, it doesn't state the time limit. Time limit? Such a thing doesn't exist. The sudden appearance of Nirvana, the leader of the Salvation Church. It feels like somebody else, whether a Constellation or Dokkaebi, is trying to make plays with how things are going on. And also, the time limit not existing and what they said earlier makes me think that, you know, there is a way to end the scenario earlier before stronger and stronger monsters come out, but it's up to them to take the hints and try to figure out, like, how to end the scenario. It's because all of you have gotten so strong. Yoo Jung-hyuk and his group had gotten much stronger in the 3rd round of the novel. I remember something like this happening in TWSA once. My goodness, the Korean incarnations have gotten so strong to the point of breaking the balance. This is a scenario that's activated automatically when the incarnations of a certain dome become too strong. There are only 2 ways to get through the scenario. Okay, never mind, we're just going to be told. Additional clear condition, pick one. The death of half the incarnations in Seoul Dome, and the current there's still that many people. The current number is 107,624. There are still so many of you alive. Good thing there's an even number of you. Bull, you can't do this to us. You're just asking us to die, you damn Dokkaebi. Calm down. There is a second condition. Additional clear condition, pick one. And we have the death of half the incarnations in Seoul Dome, or the death of the strongest incarnation in Seoul Dome. The strongest... I mean, hey, is that Nirvana? Can they just kill Nirvana? What? Who's that supposed to be? You should tell us who it is. I can't tell you. Okay, so the thing is, it's sowing seeds of distrust. Either they have to kill half of each other, or they have to kill each other until they find out the strongest. And at this point, is it Nirvana? Because the people that come to mind for me are Nirvana, Hwewon, Dokja, and Jung-hyuk, are the 4 that come to mind for me. I can't tell you that. I guess we don't know how strong Dokja's mom is, to tell the truth. That would make it absolutely no fun. Then, I'm sure whoever is the strongest knows who they are. Well then, happy searching. We're seeing Jung-hyuk. Okay, we get that recap. And that's it. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. That is cool. So now we go into next time. We still need to save Sang-ah. We still need to deal with Nirvana. And we're setting up the next scenario. So all of that really good. Let me remove this so you can see the credits or whatever while I'm talking. Very good set of chapters. All of it was incredibly good. I'm kind of tired, so I don't know if you'll be seeing this on Wednesday or if you're seeing it late tonight, but I want to do it late tonight, so I'm going to go and try to edit and render this and everything. But yeah, I thought this was incredibly good. The story's very good. The characters were handled really well. Everything was great. No complaints. Art is always amazing. I feel like is it bad if I don't bring up and appreciate the art? Because, you know, it's good to be appreciative of it because it's really, really good, but also it's repetitive and unnecessary to say when it's clearly like very, very good. But yeah, with all of that aside, I don't think there's anything else to back end the video with that I didn't already say earlier on. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction, and also if you know a good stopping point for next week, let me know and I'll try to take in other people's opinions when I decide. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, that is appreciated. But if you want to not just like help support the channel, help me keep making videos, but also get your name at the end of every video, get One Piece videos a bit early, then you can do so by hitting join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Abyss Knight, JA, and the D-Band, Cheriton Students, David Linkstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pater Diablo. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.